Julia Roknifard is a senior lecturer at the School of Law and Governance at Taylor's University. She joins me now live from Kuala Lumpur. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. So, one child killed is one child too many. Yet here we are today, more than 15,000 children killed in Gaza by Israel since Israel launched its brutal onslaught. More than 300 in just the past few weeks alone. Let me ask you, what do you think this says about us, about our humanity?
I keep asking this question again and again whenever I share any notes on what's going on in Gaza, and and I'm sure you'd agree with me. It says that we failed because over and over again we keep getting the news on our screens directly every day, pouring at us about the genocide happening in Gaza, and yet nothing is being done. Yes, we've had multiple discussions in the platform of the United Nations, within the Security Council, but still nothing much is being done. It's all just talk and no action. Recently, there's been a dispute over how much of the proportion of the casualties in Gaza are actually women and children. And I don't see the point in this discussion if it's 70% or if it's 30%. One child is way too many already. And there's been a discussion about how psychologically traumatized are Israeli children who were hostages captured by the Hamas. But how often do we talk about the Palestinian children that were affected by this, that are orphaned, that are left with disability for the rest of their life, if even alive? To answer your question, we've generally failed to prevent what's happening and to put a stop on this, which every day was an opportunity, and yet we haven't done much.
Right, and Julia, certainly when you see at the international community right now, there are people who try to justify what Israel is doing in Gaza right now. And, that makes me wonder, how did we reach a point where the mass killing of children, the mass killing of children is seen as an acceptable cost?
You see, on the one side, with the democratization of societies, we thought that the media are going to present us the truth and make citizens make more informed decisions. However, what we're seeing is the distortion of this media landscape. People exist in sort of bubbles and choose and pick the information which majorly they already agree with. So it really will depend very much on if you are a common viewer of Fox News, let's say, or you're watching Al Jazeera, or if you're watching TRT for your news coverage of what's going on, you'll have a totally different picture. So with that, people shape and reinforce what they already believe in. Recently, there was an opinion poll conducted by the Maryland University, as they usually do, on what the American public thinks about what's going on in Gaza. And even though majority agree that the Gazans themselves should decide, rather than Donald Trump throwing at the international public decision that or suggestion that Gaza needs to be cleared and then rebuilt and turned into a Riviera. But at the same time, many among the American public, although majority among the Republican supporters, they believe that what Israel is doing is justifiable, is a just defense of itself. And that's what we've heard from many American channels, the statements that Israel has the just right to defend itself. While only a small proportion still believes that at least it amounts, what Israel is doing, it amounts to war crimes. So I think it comes to the distortion of the media landscape and the media bubbles in which we all exist.
Fascinating insights there, but I mean, the facts now, they're too hard to ignore. We're talking about more than 15,000 children killed in just under 2 years. One thing that would bring this seemingly never-ending war to an end is politics. The power lies within politicians. What do you think they need to do differently to finally bring this onslaught to an end? Because all the efforts that have been perpetrated over the past 18 months have not produced any fruitful results.
Yeah, I would say that there is no moral consideration put forward on this planning on what to do next. The Arab countries are trying to come up with some sort of solution which would be palatable to both Hamas, Gazans, Palestinians, and Israel. But what they are lacking, as well as the rest in the international arena, is the leverage. Among the Arab countries, some of them are still very dependent on the US support, which is on the other side of divide. That's why everyone is trading carefully. So some leverage that can be applied probably has to go through the only international platform that offers hope, and that's the United Nations and the Security Council, where, as we know, the United States is blocking any decision and even contributing in how it is portrayed. So it should be consolidated decision by the global south, by the Arab countries, by the Muslim countries coming from the OAC and whatnot. But there has to be a better coordination and an attempt to exert pressure at the United States and act through the Security Council to stop this.
Fascinating insights. Professor Julia Roknifard, thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. Appreciate your taking out the time.